up? I'm a true Southern Belle with just a sprinkle of gangster. I'm Seaport, born and bred, so I really need you to come and hang out with us. But I'm going to keep my feedback so demure and so cutesy. That Dahmer scene, it reminded me of Rick getting blown up in The Ones Who Live. And to be honest, I don't take The Walking Dead serious when it comes to those wild plot twists. I just shake my head and keep pushing. Although to me, Maggie leaving her baby with a complete stranger, that was more unbelievable than any explosion or Walker drama they've ever written. It's like, ma'am, excuse me, seriously, you're just going to leave a little Herschel with that crazy lady? Seriously. And I'm tired of all these spinoffs anyway. They're getting real redundant. I haven't been feeling these spinoffs except The Ones Who Live. And of course, that's because of my boo. The Walking Dead just does not feel like The Walking Dead without Rick and the gang all together. I mean, to me, Rick, Michonne, Daryl, Carol, Maggie, they're the heart of the story. I don't care if they come back and they live in Alexandria or the Commonwealth, wherever. I just need the crew back together again. And I guess Negan can come. I guess, as long as he finds somewhere else to live. Ain't nobody trying to room with their former captor. He needs to stay somewhere else, okay? And I have to give Becky her flowers. She did an amazing job both times she was on the podcast. She's another Southern Belle in the mix. I don't know if she got that gangster side like me, but that Southern twang is definitely twanging. And Becky, girl, I keep a fan by my bed too. And yes, ma'am, it runs year round. And also, I wasn't feeling Navaria's hair either. To be honest, I haven't liked any of the black women's hair on the Walking Dead shows. We deserve better styling, period. The Walking Dead got all that budget, and the wigs still look like they came off the clearance rack at Party City. Walking Dead, do better. Holla at me. Holla at your girl. Your girl will get them right. All righty. Peace and love. Bye.
Okay. Let me kick this off. First off, Renee, I love you.
100% couldn't agree more. Could not agree more.
I love you. I still can't figure out who you like on this show. I can't figure out who your favorite character is for the life of me.
It's me.
No, I meant on The Walking Dead.
I know.
That, but where's my invite to come down for St. Patrick's Day and party hard and all that good stuff? Like now I feel left out. No, I really don't.
I mean, you know it's coming. So Renee, I got to give you the props and the flowers where the props and the flowers are due. So I will happily come down to Savannah at any time, because I have promised my partner Kara that we are going to go to Sonoya and we're going to do the Walking Dead tour, and we're going to do it upright. So I will happily come down to Savannah. Way to be. You are a Rick Grimes unapologetic fan. Honestly, so am I. I can love both Negan and Rick. It's the craziest dichotomy, but
you're talking crazy, Alex. You're talking crazy.
I know. Brothers in a hotel bed, but like it is what it is. And there's only so much that when Rick Grimes starts talking about stuff and things, I can't help but fall in love a little bit more. And Kara is the same way. She has had a crush on Rick Grimes for years upon years. So Renee, you share the best of company. I get it. But I agree with you. I would prefer, instead of all the spinoffs, like maybe one season where we bring the whole gang back together and kill Thanos and just like some crazy big bad or something. But it's kind of like, if we're going to bring back Buffy, let's get Buffy, Spike, and Angel all hanging out together, because I would watch that show. So yeah, let's bring go ahead.
No. Continue. I can hold my point until you're done.
All right. So let's bring everybody back together and see what happens. I don't think it's going to happen for another 2 to 3 seasons, but I would not mind like a Walking Dead Endgame season to end all seasons, just to put a pin in it at the end of the day. And I hope we get that. I do.
So it's so freaking weird that you even bring up Buffy the Vampire Slayer, because Sarah Michelle Gellar, because there is a Buffy reboot coming, and Sarah Michelle Gellar has said that her main goal for the reboot is to bring back everyone who has died.
Bring back charisma, damn it. Joss Whedon, you do not get to win this time, damn it.
No. But in regards to bringing everybody back together, there actually was, I was going to save this for when we talked about the future of the season, the future of the series, but I can bring it up now. There actually is an article with Lauren Cohan where she was interviewed, and she said that as an executive producer of the show, one of the things she would like to see by the end of this show, by the time this show wraps, is Rick, Michonne, Daryl, Carol, her, everybody, like all of these people we know are still alive, actually coming back together as kind of like a last hurrah for everybody who was part of Walking Dead proper.
I mean, given what this series has meant to so many people and the fan base that, I mean, I tell people I'm doing a podcast on The Walking Dead, and half the time they're like, wait, that's still going? Like, yes. And those of us that know about it, like, we know what's up. So don't yuck my yum. But like, I would love that crossover event, and I think the fan base would go absolutely apeshit for it. I really do. I think it would be when AMC is struggling and they need to throw that Hail Mary, they have this Hail Mary in their back pocket, and we would all show up in droves. Everyone from every walk of life. If we found out it was a collision event and we were bringing everyone back together, I think people would show up, especially if we were guaranteed Bernthal Ghost talking to Judith somehow in like a dream sequence or something. I would love to see Bernthal talking to Judith at some point.
It's one of those things that like, it doesn't even have to be like a full like 8 episode event or anything. It could be
fine.
And I don't even think it needs to be that. You could do a 2-hour movie and
bite your tongue. We deserve.
You think
more.
It would have?
We need more. There's too many characters to cover. We've seen that with Marvel, man. Like 2 hours, it's not enough to get enough story. Like you can get Tony Stark to die. Spoiler alert. I don't care if you don't know that yet. You should. But like that's enough time, and there wasn't a whole lot more that happened there. Like I think you do need 6 to 8 hours with all these coalescing storylines to interweave and to work its way into a satisfying conclusion. Like you need a little bit of a runway there.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair enough. I just didn't know what kind of story you would have to do to bring all these characters back together other than just them coming back together. So
it's the same story it always is. There's a CRM level threat, and it's going to annihilate everything unless these folks band together against all of their past stuff and find a way to make it happen. It's our favorite way of telling Armageddon-based storytelling, and that's all it's going to take. It's going to take one big bad and everyone to conveniently end up in the same place.
I mean, and it could be one of those situations where Maggie has left New York with Herschel. They've returned to the bricks or they've returned to wherever. Negan is in charge of New York City. He is the king of New York at this point. The battle is too big for just Maggie, Rick, Michonne, and everybody. But Maggie happens to know someone she can go to for help. Bring in Negan, bring in everybody for their new sanctuary or whatever it is. Bring in anybody else that Daryl has teamed up with and has brought home with them back to the States. Like, yeah, it's a full-on reunion,
Ooh.
Maybe like 4-episode special to wrap up everything Walking Dead finally.
But I need the fight scene in the culmination of the inevitable ultimate episode. I need the person that saves them in the end to say on your left, and I need it to be Morgan. I need Morgan to come out of nowhere with the army that takes down. Like he needs to come up with the army from the Veil, and I need him to say on your left. You know, just really bring it all full circle.
Okay,
that was 8 references together.
Oh yeah, I did put out the challenge. How many references were we going to make in this episode?
Sure did. So, we're at least 200 so far.
You were just living up to it. Also, I realized listening to Renee's voicemail and then you making the hotel bed reference, how many times I have turned my head away from the microphone to laugh this episode, as well as past episodes this season, that I've decided next season we're releasing video versions of this podcast.
We absolutely need.
We have to.
People need to see just the faces we make at one another. Oh, I can't wait.
It's ridiculous, but like in the best way.
Yes, 100%. 100%.
But that brings us to one final voicemail, the last voicemail of all of our feedback, not just for the finale, but of our entire season. Of course, we had to reserve that for our good friend, Steve Brown. So here it is.
Hello, Ben and Alex. This is Steve, and this is going to be for the Walking Dead, Dead City, Season 2, season finale. Great. It's episode 8. I don't know what my brain was fried last week. So Bruegel thinks he's going to be mayor by bartering some peace accord. Why is Pearlie worried about Ginny? I don't understand. Pearlie just revealed Ginny and Negan have a prior relationship, and now Negan's about to address his troops. Maggie tied up like both her hands and one foot. That's confusing. I guess both her feet are tied too. It seems a weird way to tie somebody up, and especially that close to keys. So the Dama notices the keys missing, and she says that it just happened to be she just happened to have a walker around that she could burn up. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, and pretend to be her. That's weird. Is Negan going to feed them walker meat? Oh, not walker meat on the table, walkers under the table, and fire around the church. Dama sure knows a lot about Maggie's history, and she wants Maggie to kill Negan. Oh, they hid weapons in the statue, but why did they wait so long to get them? And Bruegel very effectively has the flamethrower. Okay, so even Herschel wants Maggie to kill Negan, and apparently they're letting her go. He said history is a conflagration. Isn't that the title of the episode? Mic drop. Benjamin, said it. Looks like New Babylon has arrived. Bruegel, Negan is not going to buy this story. Marshall Pearlie, he's got both you and Bruegel on your knees now. What's Negan going to do with Lucille 2.0? And there's the Negan lean as he does his eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Oh, Negan's forcing methane down Bruegel's throat. Oh, that's just horrendous. He lit him on fire. Okay, so much for Bruegel. Ooh, and then he smashed his head with Lucille 2.0. Oh, and we got Stealth Maggie killing 3 guys. Now the showdown between Negan and Pearlie. Oh, and Maggie just stabbed Negan in the back. Oh, Jenny. And once again, though, the length of time it takes for a person to turn into a walker just depends on the story. We don't know how long Jenny's been dead. In case there was any doubt, the closed captioning just said, Walker Jenny growling. Oh, at least they didn't give us the sound effect of the knife going into Jenny's head. Now Maggie's going to show mercy to Negan because of that. Well, okay. It's a deep wound, Pearlie. I don't know if you're going to be able to take care of it. Okay, so Maggie didn't kill Negan. She comes back to Herschel, and she lets him go with the Dama, but she says she'll stay there for him. I don't understand. And, of course, New Babylon is in the streets. Oh, I thought it was ending, but no. Now we've got the Dama. Oh, that is the end. Okay. Well, hopefully there'll be a season 3.
I think he went into the behind the scenes of the episode when he saw the Dama again.
I loved it. I thought that you brought up some great points. Steve, never stopping. Just always be you. When you brought up the Negan lean, I have to admit, that is one of the things I find most captivating about Negan. It is his posture when he's in full savior mode. It is the character choices that he makes when he is intimidating. And I'm one of those people, and I know that there are other people out there. So if you're listening to this podcast and you're one of these people, just so you know, you're seen and you're not alone. But when I'm really into a show and I'm watching it, and I'm especially when I'm binge watching it, I really take on the characteristics of a character. Like if I'm watching Scrubs, I'm going to be talking like Dr. Cox, and at least by the 10th episode, I will go full on Cox. And with Negan, like the Negan lean is so much part of just his bravado. Like I don't know what the word is, but his
bravado.
Thank you. And I love that you pointed that out because yes, that was in full effect, and that's when I knew like, oh shit, he's going for it. Like this is he's gonna do it. So loved Steve for bringing that out, and just love Steve for being Steve.
Yeah, I mean, and Steve too, in regards to what you had mentioned about the timeline of how long it takes someone to die to turn afterwards as well. I think you can kind of enter into the department of suspension of disbelief for Ginny, only because of the fact that you don't know at what point she died, because we know that when Negan left her, she was still alive fighting the infection.
Yep.
At some point between then and the time he saw her, Ginny died, but we don't know exactly when that was. So it could have been literally 10 minutes before he found her that she died, yep. And then she turned and got up out of that bed. So I do agree with you on sometimes how it's tough to determine that timeline sometimes, but I think Ginny, we can't use that as an example because we don't know when she died.
Right. No, there's too many unknown variables, but
yeah.
Otherwise, Steve, as always, thank you so much. You are a delight.
Of course. So we don't have to dive too quickly into this, but we can kind of just go into a little bit of kind of our takeaways from this season and maybe what we predict from that we might see or what we might get for for season 3 if we get one. There still has not been any official announcement yet from AMC that we're getting a season 3. I have high hopes, and I'm pretty confident we're going to get a season 3. It was actually, I looked at some of the numbers, and Dead City, believe it or not, was actually pretty, I think, still AMC's #1 streamed show.
Hell yeah.
At the time that it aired. So
that's thanks to us.
Right? I mean, that's pat ourselves on the back. I mean, come on.
100%.
So I think AMC still has the full confidence in this, in anything Walking Dead. I think Walking Dead is their property. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
They're not just in production and in ratings, but in events, in merchandising. There's so much that they still do with The Walking Dead. So I'm fully confident we're going to get a season 3 of Dead City. And I'm happy about that.
No, I agree.
Merchandise.
Happy birthday, Mel Brooks. No, I couldn't agree more. And I'm excited. I think this season, when it's all said and done, as long as we get the 3 to 4 that they are planning out, is going to be one of those building block seasons that when we look back on it, we really appreciated how we got here and the journey it took. I think living in it in the moment, week to week, could be frustrating at times. I think if I didn't have a podcast that I was talking about it with or following along too, maybe I would have fallen off. But so I get that for all the folks that are like, yeah, man, this was a tough follow. I absolutely get that. And I committed to doing this podcast, so I never fell off. But I get why it was really challenging for some folks at some points. And there was a lot of storytelling meandering at points. But I think they righted the ship and they found out where they were going. And I'm really excited for how New Babylon is going to factor into things. And when their inevitable president, Michael Emerson, comes into the picture, I'm really excited to see how he plays. Now,
Rainn Wilson.
I do really like that idea of Rainn Wilson.
Yeah.
I think he'd be a phenomenal addition to the Walking Dead universe.
Me too. Yeah, I'm right there with you. There was definitely some drop-offs in quality this season as far as storytelling goes. My 2 biggest disappointments of the entire season actually happened in the finale, but they didn't affect how much, well, one of them did. Affect how much I enjoyed. I actually really appreciated the finale for what we got and what it sets up for the future of the series. The first disappointment, obviously, is the wave off of the Dama's excuse. We've talked enough about that in detail that I don't even need to go into it again. My other biggest disappointment is that we lost Brogel.
I would have said Ginny. I would have actually said I'm more upset losing Ginny than I am losing Brugel. I get losing Brugel, but Ginny was a really good freaking character, and I
agree with you, but like I mentioned last week, I feel like Ginny's sacrifice was necessary for the progression of the story.
No, she was a sacrifice that the island demanded. There's 3.
Yeah, I'm not counting that because you used that same reference last week.
I sure did.
But it still counts. So, but yeah, the loss of Ginny is the one thing. It's that one piece of connected tissue that tied Negan, Maggie, and Pearlie together, that we needed that to bring the 3 of them together. Without Ginny's loss, the loss of Ginny, we wouldn't have been able to get that any other way. So Ginny's loss, while disappointing, was necessary.
It was. I
for the progression of the show.
I agree emphatically. It was necessary. Just disappointing. Yes.
Brugel, you could have had Brugel get away and
seasons.
Run off like the swarmy little guy that he is.
In a heartbeat.
Because he's
a survivor.
Kim Coates just eats that fucking scenery, man. He is so narcissistically charming.
He's damn delightful. You know what? The algorithm actually put a couple of his scenes from Sons of Anarchy in my reels, and I've never watched Sons of Anarchy, but just watching his scenes on the reels, oh man, he's such a phenomenal actor. Holy crap, he's great. And we only got him for a couple of episodes.
If you want to watch another really good movie that he's in, that he plays a great swarmy character in too, watch the movie Goon with Sean William Scott.
The hockey movie.
Hell
yeah. Okay.
He plays a rival hockey player to Sean William Scott's character, and he's great in that movie.
Is he a shit talker?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that's probably so okay. You know what? That has been to quote Ben Beck. That's been on my list for at least 7 years of movies that I wanted to watch. But here I am watching Tropic Thunder for the 800th time.
Right. The season 4 of The Bear just released, but yet I'm watching freaking Scott's Tots episode of The Office for like the 15th time.
Yes.
But no, yeah, watch Goon. He's so good in that movie. But there's so much more they could have done with Brogel. And I love that we still call him Brogel.
I mean, how do you not? It's our last chance, really, because we're never going to talk about him next season.
He could have been one of those kind of like one of those like G.I. Joe Cobra villains that is always like the main villain, but always tends to get away at the end of like
the thing is
every battle and comes back later. Like
the thing I loved about him and the thing that gave him such staying power is he was a silver-tongued survivor. You could have put him with any group and he would have found a way to weasel his way in and eventually usurp power because that's the type of guy he was. And I agree with you. I thought that dismissing him really stole the opportunity for them to have a whole lot of fun narratively moving forward. But we'll see.
Now, how they got rid of him was one of the coolest freaking deaths we've ever gotten in The Walking Dead.
Holy shit. Greg Nicotero got those pages and said, oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. I got this. This is the best day of my career.
Yeah.
Dude, you know that he was on top of the world when he got those pages.
I know I mentioned this earlier too. I've had Kim on my Wilhelm podcast. I'm gonna have to see if I can get him. I'm gonna have to see if I can get him back on and talk to him a little bit more about this.
You really should, because I'd love to know what he would have seen for Bruegel's future had he not had I have a very ceremonial end. Like what would he have liked to have seen from Bruegel moving forward?
Yeah, I have an email to send tomorrow.
I like it. I
gotta see if I can get him back on.
Get your publicist on, sir.
But other than that, like as far as what I'd like to see going forward, I'm really we kind of touched base on this earlier on in the season about how this season could turn out to be setting the building blocks for the future of the series, which I think was a point that you brought up, and I think that's exactly what we got this season.
I think it took them 6 episodes to figure out where the hell they were going, or at least that's the way it seems, and then 2 episodes to say, we got this. Don't worry. We figured it out. We are on it. I got this. And again, I'm really excited to see how the Croat is used in season 3. Does he become an ally of Negan? Does he become an adversary of Negan? I don't think that he has any ill will towards Negan. He took his lumps and understood that he had to go. He's got no ill will towards Maggie or Pearlie. So it makes sense that he has no reason to defy them. But it makes sense that he's a much better asset for is it the Commonwealth? No, the New
Babylon.
New Babylon, thank you. He is a much more important asset for New Babylon because just because you have methane doesn't mean you know what the hell to do with it, how to make it, or how to distribute it, how to utilize it inside of the vehicles, etc., or how to function a city with it. So they may have the lab, but without the scientist, it doesn't mean dick.
And I think you're right. I think that's probably what we're going to see play out in the next season, in season 3, is that the Croat, because we didn't get him in the finale at all. The Croat is going to turn out to be a major piece to everything. Yes. And he's going to be the deciding factor as to how things play out, because New Babylon, you're right, it's probably not going to be able to utilize this technology properly without the person who designed it. But you've got him as somebody who could potentially be an ally to Maggie, Negan, and Pearlie. And because you're right, there is no ill will with any of them at this point. He is just a floating piece of this puzzle, and you don't know going back to the chess reference, not the Othello reference, you don't know what side of the board he's going to play for.
And honestly, it's him. He might be playing his own version of chess with both sides. Like he might just be that true wild card, like Charlie Day. And you don't know what he's going to do and who he's going to backstab or who he's going to side with in any given moment. I think that would be a really fun way for him to play too. If he was just that damn weasel character, I'm okay with that. I think he would do it masterfully.
Yeah. And I want to know more about him. And a number of people have said it in their feedback, and we said it as well. He became such a more intriguing character by the end of the season that I want to know more about him now.
Absolutely. And so I brought this up towards the beginning of the episode. I'm curious about you. Where do you land on Pearly here at the end? Like, are you like, all right, dude, I'll mess with you? Because I've gotten to like, all right, man, like I'm intrigued to see what happens with you. We still don't know dick about him. He's not that interesting, but he's shown some chutzpah, and I like it.
He's come around, and I feel like we talked a little bit last episode about how Benjamin could be a double agent with everything going on. I feel like Pearly could even play that role as well, because from what New Babylon knows, he came over with New Babylon, so he could very easily put himself back into the fold with New Babylon
in a heartbeat without thinking.
Because they don't know otherwise that everything that happened since he's been there. So he could very easily just put himself back into the fold of New Babylon to either one, try and influence things from the inside, or two, be that double agent, be that eyes from within, so that, they know what's going, so that everybody knows what's going on.
No, I agree. And honestly, when I think about my predictions and my wish list for season 3, that's it. Like, as far as Negan and Maggie and even Herschel, like, you know what? You guys tell me where they're going. That I don't. It's not that I don't care about their story, but like I can understand where their story's headed. That's not as interesting to me as some of the side character stories being fleshed out, getting some backstory, or at least getting to know them a little bit better. And I think that's a testament to pieces of this show that they do get right. I care enough to know what's up with Mile. What's the rest of that story? I actually still want to know more about the Dama and her past and just who she really is, because she is just a carbon copy, paint by numbers villain right now. And I'd really like them to give her a little bit more complexity other than bitch is crazy. Because right now, bitch is crazy.
See, I feel a little differently about the Dama.
Okay.
Like I think to me, had they done things a little differently, had they actually made her survival a little bit more intriguing and explainable, and believable, I feel like I would have still been invested in the Dama again. Like, oh, okay. Like if she had made an excuse as to how this is how she really survived, and it made me think about it like, oh, that's actually really smart. Then I would have been, okay, now I really want to see what she can do. Like if she was smart enough to pull this off in this way, now I want to see what else she can do.
Okay, I get that.
But because they just waved it off, I was still like, I was under the impression that she was dead, and I bought into the fact that she was dead, so that when she came back, I was like, oh, shock value. Like, okay. But then you just kind of blew off the reason as to how she survived. I'm like, well, now I've kind of lost interest again. Now I kind of wish she was still dead.
Yep. So
I feel a little bit differently about the Dama in that I'm not invested in her character anymore, because in my mind, she's still dead.
Damn. Okay. So they got some work to do to bring you back around. And you know what? I'm here for
on her. Yes.
Yes. And I respect that. And I'm intrigued to see what they do with Herschel. I'm not confident they're going to stick it because of what I've witnessed this year and how I saw it. Like, Logan Kim is a better actor, I think, than the material they're giving him. And I'm excited to see what happens next. But yeah, I don't know. I'm buckled up. I'm ready. Let's bring it on. Bring on season 3, and let me know when you guys need extras in Jersey. I'm there.
Yeah.
Honestly, I do think, and here's my challenge. I think if they do have an open casting call, they usually do. They do in the Jersey, Philly, New York area. I might go do it just once, get it off the bucket list, and just have it happen. I don't know. Why not?
Hey. If
you do, I do.
I'll do it.
Okay.
We'll look. I've done extra work in shows before. I've been in a couple episodes of Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
That makes sense.
So when they still shot here in Philly,
they haven't
done it in a number of years.
No.
But I've gotten in. I've met Charlie and Mac and all those. I've met
Nice.
Rob and
Okay.
Danny and all those people. Humble brag.
That was
But
just a brag.
like when we see the casting calls go out, we'll definitely go.
All right.
We'll see what we can get, if for no other reason, so that Jason can no longer say he was the only person in Podcastica who's been a zombie in a Walking Dead show.
Now that is a great counterpoint. And again, it's actually,
I love you, Jason. I'm
it's
sorry.
in our backyard. We would be silly not to do this, Ben.
Yes.
We would be silly not to put our feet in the game. Why not?
Yeah. I don't care. I
I'll
think
do it in a
it'd be
heartbeat.
exciting to be a walker in a show.
I got vacation time out the ass. I'll do it.
Hey, I make my own schedule. I can do it.
Bada bing.
So, the only other question I have for you then on what we're looking forward to season 3. This is the same question we asked Becky last week.
Okay.
So, and I said I was going to hold it until this week for you because I'm going to answer it as well. Of all locations that we have seen in New York, we've seen Madison Square Garden, we've seen Radio City Music Hall, we've seen Central Park. What locations, if any, would you like to see them explore in season 3? I have 2.
Okay.
Actually, I have 3. I would like to see. Very obviously, I've said this since the beginning, since season 1. I want to see them go to Liberty Island because Negan needs to see the Statue of Liberty.
100% couldn't agree more. We've talked about this extensively. Yes.
We've seen Rockefeller Center in that we've seen Radio City Music Hall light up,
Right.
but I want to see behind Radio City where the tree usually goes and the skating rink is.
I'd like to see a dead tree just still sitting there.
Oh,
I'd like to see a dead tree with bulbs still on it from 20 years ago. That's what I want.
That would be fantastic.
That would be, and we've talked about this before. Dead zombies figure skating.
I don't know how they would do it. They don't need to be figure skating, but maybe
shambling
around in the ice skating rink.
That'd be amazing.
Like you would believe like that's actually what they're doing.
For sure.
And then the only other location I would want to see, which isn't far from Radio City, is I want to see, and now that we know there's methane that could power the city, I want to see Times Square.
Oh, absolutely. I mean that's just that's a given.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. Honestly, I don't know enough about New York to say anything other than Broadway. I imagine my guess is even in the zombie apocalypse, you can still catch a show of the producers. There's no doubt in my mind that somewhere on Broadway,
the producers has not been on Broadway in years.
I saw it on Broadway, so
I love that show, but it has not been on Broadway. But hey,
somewhere.
Look, they're bringing Phantom back, so
right they are. They're bringing Spaceballs back, man. Anything is possible.
I know. Well, they're not bringing Spaceballs back to stage.
Give it time. Everything comes everywhere. Anyways, I guess all right. So you've kind of taken all of the good answers. So
sorry.
I'm going to go with the Sbarros on 42nd. No, I would like to see. I honest to goodness would like to. I know I joked about it earlier, but I would like to see a tunnel-based civilization. I would like to see a civilization that has survived in the tunnels one way or another, and that somehow is then used as allies. They have like this crazy infrastructure where they're able to move from point A to point B because of tunnels, subways, etc. I would like to see a fleshed out underground society.
We know from season 1 that they said that like when everything started in New York, they flushed the dead to the underground, to the subway stations and everything like that. So everything we've seen above ground, we know is nothing compared to what is still below the city.
Correct.
But that's not to say, like you said, there couldn't be some particular sections that have found a way to clear it out and make a society.
You know, a couple of avalanches to cut off outsiders, you clear out the Zeds and you make it a home. Anything's possible. And I think that would be fun to explore.
Yeah, that's very true. That would be interesting to see.
Right? Yeah, I got some tricks up my sleeve.
Anything else as far as future of the show, thoughts on this season?
I guess the only thing I really have left to say is Enid is a spy. I've always wanted to say that.
Yeah. Hey, I'm glad you did because, it's fitting. It's fitting.
It was Childish Gambino, of course.
Childish Gambino's. It feels like summer is a great song. I love Childish Gambino.
Me too.